priorities used to be used as a singular term, as in what's one thing that you really need to get done today. Because if you have 3 competing priorities or 10 competing priorities, you don't have priorities, you have a to-do list. Hi lovelies, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 weekly rituals that I have been implementing for a while now, and I've found them to be really beneficial and honestly life-changing. So I'm hoping that this video inspires you to make some similar changes to your weeks. And my intention for this video is really not to share with you 10 perfect rituals and my beauty ritual and my this ritual and that ritual, because we don't do perfection on this channel, as you know. But these rituals, to simplify the term or break it down, it's basically just 10 things that I'm doing that make my life easier, take the stress out of my days, and just help me to maximize my overall productivity and make more time for me. And they're rituals because they're meaningful. I set my intention to do these regularly and they are part of my routines. And I'm really hoping that it just gives you some really helpful ideas as well of different things that you might want to try. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is weekly batch cooking, which I've mentioned on this channel that I do with Adam every Sunday. But essentially, it is so easy to set aside one afternoon a week to go and do a food shop, make a big veggie pasta sauce or a big veggie tagine, or cut up some tomato and cucumber in a container, and then you've got basically the foundation of your salad ready in the fridge, or cut up your fruit. And it means that you don't have to worry about any of that stuff throughout the week. So for me, Sundays are all about getting things done and preparing for the week ahead, but I do it in a really mindful way, and I'm not stressing because it's a Sunday afternoon. What else do I have on? I basically just don't do much on a Sunday. It's my day to myself. It's time at home with Winston and Adam, and I'll usually go to yoga in the afternoon. So I have time for it, and it's honestly been life-changing because I feel bad for Adam, but I get really stressed out when I have extra things on my plate. And I actually always found cooking to be more of a chore if I have work going on at the same time. So doing batch cooking, it just takes the stress out of it, and I highly recommend you try it too. This next thing, it's perhaps a ritual or a commitment, and then I add little rituals into it, but I essentially have committed to taking one day a week off for myself. It is my self-care day. Not that you should only allocate self-care one particular day, it's just that it's a day that I free up for myself so that I can do lots of things that I otherwise wouldn't have time for during the week. So for me, it's Tuesdays, and once a month on a Tuesday, I have my little ritual of going and getting a massage, but otherwise, it could be as simple as just doing some art and craft at home, some pottery, playing with Winston, going and visiting my parents, or catching up with a friend for a walk. It doesn't have to be, filled with expensive activities or anything like that. But Tuesdays, that's my sacred day to myself. And I like to think that taking a day off each week, that's like a little ritual as well. In addition to our batch cooking on a Sunday, something else that we do on a Sunday that has become a little ritual for us is not particularly glamorous, but it's cleaning. So we'll set aside maybe honestly 1 hour between the two of us to clean our whole apartment because it's not that big. And it's really nice to allocate that time because before we started having this ritual in place, I would clean anytime something happened to need to be tidied, and it was a waste of time and a waste of energy. And I think I was just trying to keep the house perfect. And again, we're not doing perfect because it is detrimental to your mental and physical health. So having a cleaning ritual can also be really helpful too. This next ritual I have done for quite a while, but I'm gonna add it in because I thought it would be really helpful for anyone that gets a little bit overwhelmed or perhaps takes on too much throughout the week. So it's scheduling my week in advance. Typically, I would write down my schedule. It could even be at the end of a week on a Friday, or you could do it on a Sunday evening or Monday morning. But basically, you just want to write down the main things that you aim to accomplish each day for the week. and then use that to anchor you. Don't try and complete a really long to-do list. Realize that each day you really only need one priority. And again, I've mentioned on this channel that priorities used to be used as a singular term, as in what's one thing that you really need to get done today. Because if you have 3 competing priorities or 10 competing priorities, you don't have priorities, you have a to-do list. This next ritual has been life-changing, and I mean life-changing with a capital L, because these are all life-changing, but this one has really been the case, which is my yoga practice. So it doesn't really matter how many times a week I'm going to yoga. I think just having a yoga practice and having the intention of getting onto the mat more regularly has really just improved my overall well-being and mental health and physical health. So for me, if I look at it as a ritual, I have committed to practicing yoga Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays before work. So I really like the idea of going to yoga and then going into the office, just because it sets me up for a really good day ahead, and I don't really find time to exercise once I get into work mode. And also in the afternoon, I don't necessarily have that much energy. I seem to be more of a morning person. So having a morning ritual around exercise is something that's really benefited me in many ways. Again, just to prove that rituals don't need to be super duper fancy and all about your beauty rituals or whatnot, the next one is all about tracking my finances. So I actually do this more than weekly. Sometimes it's like every other day, but it's to track my finances and use an app on my phone to do that. And this way I'm just really on the ball with my savings and my spendings or my expenses and my income. And I think that this is really important, because if you don't keep track of your finances, then it's a lot harder to manage your money. And one thing that I've gotten into the habit of doing as well is I actually have a scanning app on my phone where I scan every receipt or tax invoice I get. And if I'm claiming it through the business because it's been purchased for work, I do it immediately. Otherwise, my wallet just gets jam-packed with scrunched up pieces of paper. So again, this ritual is not super glamorous and all about feeling really zen, but in a sense, in doing this, it actually does make me feel more in control and more organized and on top of one really important element of my life. And yes, just to show the contrast of different kinds of rituals here, I do have some rituals that are much more zen and perhaps whimsical, not really whimsical, but really lovely, special things that I do for myself. So this thing that I've been doing, I've actually been doing it daily, but also weekly, and I'll explain that in a moment. It's my journaling practice. So whether you're journaling with an app or a notebook, I think that it's a really great way to cultivate more self-awareness and self-compassion, and just let go of anything that's no longer serving you, that you've been holding on to on your chest or in your mind. And I just ordered the most beautiful self-love journal. So this ritual it's sort of around journaling, but it's also around my self-love practice, which is something that I'm really focused on prioritizing, especially this year after the year that we've all been through. But I ordered this self-love journal from Musings from the Moon, and every day you check in with yourself, you write down different acts of self-care that you can do or have done for yourself, your daily intention, gratitudes, whatever you like. And at the end of every week, there's a little self-love activity too. And speaking of self-love rituals, one other thing I like to do for myself, I love affirmation cards. I don't know if a lot of you use them as well. If you do, comment down below and let me know what is your favorite deck of affirmation cards. I just purchased some new ones from Gabby Bernstein, and it's her Spirit Junkie deck. So in the morning I like to shuffle the cards and then pull one out, and I like to think that it's just a little reminder of something to be conscious of throughout your day, and it's also just feeding your mind really positive thoughts too. So that's a little ritual that I've added into my morning routine lately. And one other thing to do with my morning routine, because I feel like a lot of my rituals do actually happen in the morning, it's to have a consistent wake time. And I probably in the middle of 2020, when we had another extended lockdown, I really fell out of my regular sleep cycle, and I was kind of just sleeping in because I could, and we went through a 111-day lockdown, And to feel motivated after that much time, I don't think that's very easy. So I was just kind of going with it and just doing whatever my body needed. But now I'm really committed to waking up at the same time every day. And another reason I'm doing that is because first thing in the morning, I check my basal body temperature because I'm learning all about female hormone health, and your temperature actually fluctuates throughout your 28-day cycle. So I want to learn more about my body, and I track that in my app, which I mentioned in a previous video, but I use the app Natural Cycles. So that's another reason why I want to wake up consistently every morning at the same time. I was going to say wake up consistently, but that just kind of sounds like you may not wake up, and we don't want that. And now even James is laughing. And Jai, editing this, you can keep that in because, yeah, such is life. And then one ritual that I so missed in 2020 for a very long time was my little morning ritual of driving to work. Driving to the office is so nice. So I actually drive to yoga first, and then I will go and get myself a juice and drive to my co-working space. But just the act of driving to a different location for me helps me to just separate my work and personal life a lot better. So I don't know if that's really a ritual as much as it is an activity, but yeah, I'm including it because it's something that I do that has been life-changing, and so it made it to the script of this video. So let me know, what kind of rituals do you currently implement, or maybe of the 10 that I've shared in today's video, there are some that you want to start incorporating into your day. So please leave your comments down below. And if you want some more inspo and tips, go follow me on Instagram at Study with Jess if you aren't already. And otherwise, I'll see you all next week with another video. Okay, mwah, bye.